And hopefully we reach 1,000 people very fast, and then we can get started.
We need to organize some intro music, Ilya.
Yes. I will work on this next time. Actually, there are many things can be done in Zoom. Many things. We just need to learn. Okay, I think we can start from now. So let me just push the record button. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are live now. It's a Friday, 8 a.m. UTC time, and we are live with a leadership call. And today we have a very special guest, Dr. Anna Becker from Israel. But before we go into product updates, I would like to give you some updates on the technical side. I know we promised actually that this week we go into testing. And I know many people, they ask the same question on daily basis. So when we launch, everybody's asking when we launch. And we really getting very close. So on development side, we are almost complete, I would say. So this weekend, because we don't have days off, this weekend we go into testing mode. And then it might take maybe 1 week for the testing. If you don't find out some major issues, so sometime maybe 10 days from now or more than 1 week, so we can launch, right? If you find some major issues during the testing, so it may take a little bit longer. So we will keep you updated, of course, next week as well on the progress from a technical side. And maybe next week we can invite also our technical specialist also on the call to provide some technical updates. Together with that, we are improving some back office issues. So we try to fix all the display issues so that you guys see accurate information, right? So that all information is 100% accurate. We're working on this as well. And we also have a lot of news on the product side, and this is why today we got our special guest, Dr. Anna. I know she has a lot of things to share, so today's call might be a little bit longer. Also, we got two amazing leaders that will share some experience with you guys after Dr. Anna actually talks. So first of all, I would like to invite Dr. Anna. Dr. Anna, it's always a pleasure to have you on our calls. I know many people, they're looking forward actually to hearing from you on the product side, also on the development side, right, on AI side, because this is a whole goal of the project, right, is development of AI. So please take it over and give us some updates. And later we have a Q&A session, right? So I will ask you a few questions from our leaders. Actually, it's not my personal questions, so we just put the questions that most frequently asked questions together, and we will just go one by one after you finish your screen share.
Yeah. I would like to start, first of all, again, thank you, because this community allowed us to start DAISY project, and on daily basis, we feel the pleasure of doing this amazing thing of superintelligence for fintech. And every day we see additional layers that we can kind of contribute both to the fintech, to economy, to all the elements that we wanted to do. So again, thank you for enabling us to start this project. And white paper side, we're done. We put it into production. So by Monday, we should have it ready and distributed, and you will be able to read it. Again, welcome all the feedbacks, comments, because we are interested to hear specifically from the universities. We get lots of communication with universities on this project. So whatever professional feedback you want to send us, please feel free to communicate with us. Now, I'd like to start with short sharing of the results. Let me do that. Okay. Can we see it, right?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, so our testing account on DAISY right now I'm always doing the snapshot half an hour before the meeting. So half an hour before the meeting, we were at 17% profit. Started with 25 million, as you know, crossed 30. If you were following it during the week, you saw that we even reached 19%. And now we at these levels. So again, on the smaller contributions, you will see percentages and numbers that a little bit less than 17 in some cases more, because you entered and the conversion side were either profitable or losing for the specific period. So right now we're at 17. I want to show you a few trades that we did. So for example, we have an algorithm called Bitcoin trend short term. So this short term tries to reach trends that are not going for the 60% or 70% trend, but going for the smaller trend. So here you see the example of very nice entry at the beginning of the trend, exit at the end of the short trend. My apologies. This is the first example. So as you see, we already exited some of the trades. Then another one was swing midterm. Swing means that when you are within the band, you're doing entry and exit. You're not trying to get into the trend itself. You're doing it outside the trend. So here you can see that, again, it's very nice entry and exit for this swing, right? Because after that, you see the clear trend, and then trend algorithm get into this story. And of course, we have a midterm trend that started at 33, and it's still in the position, okay? So this is just examples of how things work. We have total 4 BTC systems running. And I want to bring it back to the Daisy story because as you see, these systems are based on optimization through artificial intelligence, but they're based on technical analysis. As Daisy, we will have much more feedback to make additional decisions. And you can see at each point, how can you improve it? And again, the story comes into place even stronger when things go wrong, because we were fortunate in this latest period to get the perfect entries and exits. It's not always the case. And then we need Daisy to help us understand what is the strength of the market, what is the expected volatility, and whether we should, for example, even today, exit the trend and say market is done for today, or it's still strong enough and it will go forward. Again, we have our assumption as artificial intelligence for technical analysis. Daisy will help us to enforce the decision, much more informed decisions. Currently, we have on the outside, we have EOS, XLM, Link, and LTC still open trades. These trades already closed. The fact that it's written in red doesn't mean that they were not profitable. They all were profitable trades. And Ether still bears a lot of the value for the portfolio. So this is our story for this week. And I would like to answer the Q&A for, as we agreed. You are muted, Ilya.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Anna. Yes, actually, the questions we put together, maybe we already got some answers during your presentation, maybe during your previous presentations, right? But still, I mean, even if people are here like for second time, I think it's quite a good idea. So I will just read the whole list. So give me 1 sec. And we will get started with questions. Okay, so the first question is, some people say that some members actually started 2-3 days prior to others, but yet have a slightly smaller profits than those who started later on. Yes, could you please clarify on this?
Yeah, because initial conversion was not profitable. So initial conversion might be losing 0.5% or 1% to these contributors. So they will experience less results just because of the initial conversion.
Okay, so this issue is simply related to TRX exchange rate.
That's correct. The conversion of the TRX. And again, we are tackling this issue. We'll give an update once it's done, right, Ilya?
Yeah, of course.
About this issue, how not to come back to.
Of course, yes. The second question is a displayed profit on the back office positive equity or actual released profit on closed trades? So this is...
it's an equity. We are showing open equity. So if it includes both closed position and open positions. So it's our decision because we want to have people to see what's going on at the same exact moment with the portfolio. And we're updating it every hour. Every 12 hours, we're updating the chart of individual contributors. And numbers, we're updating again every hour.
Okay. So next question is related to the previous one. We have always been told that the strategy is a very low frequency strategy, but yet we see the percentages fluctuate multiple times daily. So I believe this is the same reason, right? Because it's
you can see I showed you the trades. Again, we are in the field with crypto, in the field of tactical investments. So as you saw, we have very few trades for each strategy, for each asset. So we are not, again, once we go to additional markets, there we will have different story, but in current market, we are in tactical investments.
Okay. Next question. Do we use a stop loss in our strategies? And if we use a stop loss, at what drawdown? And the last question on this is, do we use a hard stop loss or trailing stop loss?
Okay. So this is a very important question because in each market, there is a very big decision where to put a stop loss. Intuitively, you can feel that stop loss is important because you don't want to lose during big market fluctuation. But whether to put it in hard way, meaning that you enter and then you put immediately, let's say 1% or 2% or 3% stop loss to protect yourself. In markets like crypto, it's not a good idea, specifically with the big volumes, the big portfolio that we use, tens and hundreds of millions in capital, because first of all, the fact that you put the stop loss on the market and people can see it, they can kind of trade on it. They can kind of abuse it. They can kind of make their own wins, but just by seeing that you put this huge stop loss. And even if you make it synthetic, meaning that you don't put it on the exchange, but you keep it outside and then you trigger it, it's still not the good idea. So what we do instead, we use trailing stops that are soft stops. So it's not a trailing function. It's trailing function based on AI indicators. And once we see that the market is weak and it wants to go back, we use it. But if it's a sharp drop down of the market, we will not join this drop. We're not joining the drop situations. We're thinking, like our system is thinking what to do with it, and probably will exit after a while, or like we're not joining these situations because in most of the cases it will bounce back and you don't want to be the participants in these situations. So again, since we're in tactical investment, even if market goes down and it's emotional very hard to see the loss, you still need to be calm and wait for the system to exit. So again, soft stop loss, more of the trading nature than anything else. And synthetic, we don't put it on the exchange, nobody can see it.
Okay. And can you add something on a drawdown issue, like percentage wise? Can we say that we have some percentage, like minimum percentage or maximum percentage of drawdown
of the stop loss that we're using?
Yeah. Yes.
Listen, it's a tricky situation because in each specific system, system decides on what is the best. So there is unfortunately situations of a black swan that can happen. Even if you try in different ways to make it optimal, it still can happen. And we experienced this last year in May, that within the 15 minutes, the market dropped about 15-20%. And unfortunately, there is nothing you can do about this because it didn't bounce back, and that was the story. But usually what we're trying to do is from original entry, we have it fairly short, like 2-3% from original entry, and then it trails up. And it's again, I cannot say in each separate situation where it will be, but it trails up together with time based on the market. So I can maybe next time give you the exact numbers for each, not for each system, but for some of the system for you to feel it. But it's quite complicated. It's not the simple answer of the number.
Okay, I understand. So maybe we will be able to see some examples, right, from your side later on. On the last call, incredible call, you explained about amazing entry point for BTC at $33,000. So they ask if this trade is still open or closed already. So
yeah, we showed that it's still open.
Yes,
This one is still open, and we are waiting for the end of the story for this trade. And again, while I really hope for this trade to have amazing exit, it's not that important whether it will be, very successful trade or it will end up in losing 20-30% of the ideal exit. Again, it's about the long term. So let's hope for it that it will get the good exit, but again, it's not in our hands.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. The next question is about the system that reflects all of open trades. So they ask if there will be such a system so that they can see what trades are open,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Because initially, before we launched Daisy, right? So we mentioned that we might have such a system. So do you see this system being implemented?
I wanted to touch on this point and to explain a certain fact is while we're still small as a Daisy, and 25 million is definitely a small number, we can show everything. It's not a big deal to show everything. Once we grow beyond 100 and 200 millions, it's very dangerous for us to have this information open because, again, the competitors and other traders might trade off this. If they know that we have open trade and market goes this way or that way, they can back engineer of what we do, maybe not exactly, but still they can use this information. And you heard this big story of GameStop, right? That the certain information gives other players information of what they can do based on this. So again, while we're small, we might show you, and we will probably plan next week to show some of the information from our back office of our positions and numbers. But in long term, it's very dangerous for us as a testing account to show this information to the public. So we will do the short pieces of it, and we will show the parts of it, but not the full one.
Yes, absolutely. The next question is not actually a question, but they remind that it's important for the field, for all the members to anticipate that there are going to be losses, right? Because we started the way we started. Now we see some amazing results, right, in the system. So maybe you can elaborate on this. I mean, I know we keep talking about this all the time, right? So whatever we see right now, if you see some pluses, some amazing results right now, it doesn't mean that next month or next couple months or next week it's going to be positive, right? Because I mean, we are
like traders, they have inside jokes of saying that you never should tap yourself on the shoulder and say you're an amazing trader, because otherwise the market will show you how stupid you are. So this is the same. We are not yet in the Daisy shoes where we have additional information from all the markets and we have additional information about that will increase our probability. We're still technical analysis folks that doing it in smart way with artificial intelligence. So we might experience losses, we might experience black swans and things like that. Also, what happens is that once we relaunch Daisy Fund, what will happen is that the new guys will not have the profits that the old team experienced. So they will start from zero. And then even that the whole fund will be considered profitable, right? It will be considered profitable from the percentage point of view. It might be losing from the money point of view, from the dollar point of view. So again, we need to be very calm about the result and not to expect basically not to expect anything and just rely on the system. And next, specifically after the very good periods, you might have 2 or 3 months of the choppy markets or the drop down market that doesn't know what trend to take and so on. So again, there's no promises on our side.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And the last question, and this is a question actually, this is a very nice question that we hear from few leaders, because currently people cannot withdraw. They see some results, right? They want to withdraw their rewards, but they cannot do it due to our, let's say, maintenance currently taking place, right? So they're not able to push the button to withdraw. So what they ask is, in the future, right, once we reopen, will they be able to withdraw anytime? Because they understand that some of the funds actually are sitting in open positions, right? So some of the funds, they might be already in closed positions. So will they be able to withdraw at any time, whenever they want, in the morning, nighttime, just log in and push the button withdraw, or there will be some specific period of time for them to withdraw?
Yeah, again, excellent question, because this is the kind of open question for us as well. What we have is we have specific capital, quite a nice capital that is still lying in the buffer that you can withdraw from. So even right now, we have more than 5 million in capital that you can withdraw from. But once we go to the bigger numbers and we go to the bigger profits, of course, the capital that we store aside might be not enough to withdraw the full profit for all the contributors. So what we will do is we will announce the periods where you can withdraw freely, like will be no issue, and then we will ask for the community to wait during the periods when we are in the trends, because we don't want community to affect our trading. We don't want to be forced to stop the trades or to exit earlier just because we need to withdraw profits. Like, we don't want your decision on whether you think it's enough for you. So what we will do is we will again announce the fully green light withdrawal periods, and then it will be yellow light where you can withdraw. But if we say that we don't have enough capital, we will ask you to wait, and then we will carefully see where there is available capital still, and then we will rebalance. So it might be day or 2 or 3 waiting period during these yellow periods, and then it will be reopened again.
Awesome. I like this idea of green and yellow.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll not get to red ones ever.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much. I think this is it for the major questions on the product side that people ask. So I believe you clarified many issues, and now most of people understand how the trading is working, right? So next week, if you can show us a little bit more of some insights, right, on the trading
and
side.
Specifically, I would like to take on ourselves to start with Daisy. We will show you some Daisy stories. We will show you a white paper next week. We will start show you the Daisy itself, because this is the most exciting reason while we are together, the Daisy story. So,
absolutely.
So next week we will maybe even do some short parts of the white paper. We will start explaining it, start explaining what we're doing, and that will be, again, exciting.
Absolutely, yes. And I want everybody just to keep the eye on a Telegram channel, because we're gonna make announcement very, very soon that the white paper is finally released, and this is going to be very big news for all the community, not only Daisy community but also AI community, I would say, right? Because many people, they looking forward actually to reading this masterpiece.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Anna. Thank you for your time. I know.
Solomon, good luck.
Yes. I know you're very busy, so you can leave now, and we will just jump into second part of the call.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, guys. Okay, yeah, I think it was very amazing part. So it's always such a privilege to see Dr. Anna, right, explaining about the product, to hear her wisdom, words of wisdom about the product side, about the crypto market, and because we are here because of Dr. Anna, right? the reason why we are here is because of Dr. Anna, right? Let's put it this way, and let's be honest. It's not because of smart contract. It's not because of the pay plan. It's because of the vision, which is development of AI technology, which is, of course, inspired and pioneered and led by Dr. Anna. So it's always very, very good to have Dr. Anna on the call. And now, as we jump into the second part, so today we have two great leaders from different parts of the world. So we have Solomon James from Lagos, from Nigeria, and we have Chris Arena from Manila, from the Philippines. So before we jump into the second part, I just want to say a few words also from let's say corporate side, right? About Daisy. We know, guys, that we are having delays. Okay, it's not about we are not here to motivate everybody and to say that you guys need to be focused, you need to be great leader to follow the vision of the project, etc., etc. We do understand that we are very, very big way behind the schedule, right? So we do understand this, and under these circumstances, of course, as we also build, by the way, right? So myself, I build here, so I have huge network also here as we started. So I do have a lot of issues with this. I do have a lot of feedback. So some people, they jump into Daisy, they wanted to build full time, right? Let's put it this way. We know this. Many great leaders, they joined because of the vision. They really made long-term plans, and they just couldn't work it, right? Because we shut down the system, right? So we needed to shut down the system, right? So we do understand this. Some people, obviously, they just need to make some money to provide the families, right? So around the world. So this is why they cannot just sit back and wait week after week. So we do understand this. And again, we apologize for this huge delay. But again, I mean, we still have great leaders staying with us. And of course, Solomon and Chris are two of them. And you're going to listen from them directly on today's call. So many people, they of course believe in Daisy. They believe it's just a temporary issue because, as we keep saying, there is no single chance to not reopen Daisy, right? So it's just a temporarily technical issue. It will be resolved very, very soon. Hopefully next week we will have much more, detailed updates. We might be able to provide some time frames on the date we launch, some specific date, right? So the launch date. So let's just wait until next week, and we'll have a lot of exciting news and updates from Dr. Anna as well next week, especially about the white paper and the AI technology that she will be working together with great scientists on. So the first gentleman I'd like to invite today is Mr. Solomon James from Lagos, from Nigeria. So Solomon is a great leader. He's been in this industry for 16 years, which is a very long time. Myself, I've been 12 years, so it's longer than me. And Solomon been doing this business mostly online in multiple countries. So he's building big in Africa, not only in Nigeria. So we can say that he's very global. And he also knows exactly what's happening in the crypto space, because we are guys not only in MLM space, but in crypto space in particular in Africa. And I believe it will be very interesting piece of information for everybody about what's happening in crypto space in Africa, in particular in Nigeria. So Solomon, please take it over. And whatever you want to share with us in relation to Daisy, please go ahead.
All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are hearing me or listening in from. Thank you so very much, Ilya, for this great opportunity to be able to share and participate in this great project. This is something that is very dear to our hearts because of the core value of transparency that we see, and much more so with what Dr. Anna is seriously pioneering. Listen, this is a pioneering work, and it's great that we can envision to see the future. We've had other leaders come to talk about different things, Michael Foss, Paul, and the rest of them, Eugene. All of this is to show to everyone that what we have in Daisy is going to be very phenomenal if we stay put, and if we embrace the time in which we are in to ride with the Daisy system. Well, I'm here in Nigeria, I'm here in Africa, and we see things differently. There is a lot of things happening in our space. And people are excited with what they see, but we also have our peculiar challenges. So I want to address a little bit for people within the African space so that they know that the DAISY system is a global system, even though we may have our own peculiar obstacles. But just as DAISY is going through a revolutionary time to be able to adjust and reset things, we can take that spirit and pass it across to everybody that, listen, if we stay true, we can win. So if you permit me, I'll just share something. And just a minute. All right. Okay. Can you see my slide, please?
Yeah, we can see the slides.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, good. Well, I think looking at what happened in DAISY within the first 24 hours or the first 4 days with a broken system, and we had over 50,000 persons coming into the system, it tells a whole lot of what is possible, of what the world is waiting for to experience. Now, when you come to understand that the world population is about 7.8 billion, because I did check this out yesterday, it means we have not started. So the possibility of DAISY growing into a multi-billion dollar project is very, very visible. It's very, very up to task that we can make that happen. But now, while we are looking at the global space, for us in Africa, understand that Africa is the second largest continent in the world today, and is the second most populous continent, with a population of about 1.361 billion people. I checked this out yesterday. This is a very big market, even for DAISY. So for people who are thinking of tapping into the African space, there's a lot of possibilities here. Now, in the African space, we see Nigeria as the giant of Africa, and that's what it is. Nigeria is the giant of Africa with over 209 million people. Well, the number is great, but so is the problem, because as at the June 2018 report, it shows that Nigeria has the largest extreme poverty rate, okay, overtaking India. That was in 2018. But why are we looking at this problem and looking at vis-a-vis the numbers? Now, I also checked this out yesterday. This was from the Mundi Index, that the economy that's population below poverty line, we find out that Africa is majorly below the poverty line. Now, in Nigeria, where I reside, 70% is into this, and this was a 2020 record result. Now, but you're looking at, oh, that means there's a problem. Well, what you must understand is that where the greatest challenge is also where the greatest opportunity lies. Because right now there is a revolt for people to take back their life and take back control and do something meaningful with their life. So that is giving an opportunity for adoption. Now, according to the 2020 Global Crypto Adoption Index, cryptocurrency is a global phenomenon and cannot be stopped. And according to the index, 2020 ranks number 8 in the world in adoption of a peculiar challenges in Africa. People are looking to the crypto space and they are beginning to adopt it. Now, you can see that Nigeria leads the world in Bitcoin searches on Google. It means people are looking for alternative things to do. You can also see that Nigeria is Africa's biggest crypto market without fail. Today we are having the Binance, Paxful, and a whole lot of the exchanges coming into the African market because they see an emerging market of people who are revolting against the traditional way of earning and they want to make a difference with their life. Now, why is this important? Because yes, just like I did mention, there are obstacles. Just as DAISY is trying to remodel and we do a 2.0, a lot of persons are a little bit uncomfortable, perhaps with the delay, with the obstacle, with the website not functioning well. We understand that. But you see, for us in Africa, we understand it better. Just 6-7 days ago, we woke up with the Central Bank of Nigeria putting a ban on crypto trading. in the last few days, bank accounts of people are being shut down. It's an obstacle. People want to better their life, but you see, this is the government even stopping us, not the Daisy project stopping us. We want to participate in the crypto space. This is the African experience. Do you think we cry? Do you think we mourn? Do you think we say it's all over? Hell no. The African spirit says we can rise and make a way out of this. Now, this was a report from CoinDesk yesterday that the Bitcoin cannot be stopped. Nigerian took a look to peer-to-peer exchanges after the ban, and you can see that Nigeria dwarf African in Bitcoin peer-to-peer, even with the ban. As a matter of fact, the peer-to-peer exchanges or interaction moved to over 15% in just about 48 hours. Is to say, when you have a willpower, nothing can stop you. That the system is delayed does not mean we must give up. Look, I mean, these are people that, for those of us perhaps in the US, America, and other advanced clients, any little thing you whine, we don't whine in Africa. We look forward to the positive side and we ask ourselves, what can we do? So when they say they want to stop, look at what happened. The market is exploding. Africa right now is exploding. Nigeria is exploding. That is because we have a never giving up spirit. So I want to say to everyone on this call, don't give up. For those who have people in Africa, there are a lot of ways. Like I said, there's a lot of peer-to-peer right now exchanges. Paxful is very useful. Remitano is very useful. Local Bitcoin is very useful right now to get in your crypto and participate in the Daisy project, or even the people you are trying to reach out to. There are ways around it. So in case you have people in Africa who are saying there are restrictions, we can't go forward. No, there's no restriction. There are ways out of this, and we're already doing that. That's to say, with Daisy, nothing can stop us. And what's the interesting thing about Daisy that I see is the fact that Daisy is simply right now for us in Africa, the democratization of wealth. You see somebody like Eugene there, who spoke the other day. If he puts $100 and I put $100 here in Africa, we get the same result. If he gets to tier 10 and I get to tier 10, we get the same result. So irrespective of tribe, race, or religion, Daisy has come to democratize the wealth of the nation. And it's so exciting that despite the drop down that we've had, we have seen the system, just like Dr. Anna just highlighted, trading. The results are amazing. People are excited. I do know that some of us trade, but do you know that the emotions, the up and down of your trading is taken away from you, handled by Endotech? Now, this is great, guys. So for us in Africa, we are using this period of waiting for to go live to rejig our system, get our people to see that even without bringing people in to join us, Daisy is creating an amazing result. What does that say? Two lessons I learned when Daisy went live within 48 hours was that, number one, urgency is everything. That Daisy is easier to build fast than it is to build slow. A lot of us waited, we wanted to see all the results before we began to shoot. However, we saw leaders, we saw the Vitalists, we saw Michael Foss, we saw a lot of leaders who took the bull by the horn, building even before it was launched. And when they share their results, you are, oh, they are lucky. No, they are not lucky. They decided to build. We can build this fast. Let's not build this slow. 2.0 is about to go live in a couple of days, in a couple of weeks. But listen, we must have a shift in our mindset that once it go live, it is possible to drive 10 levels even in 7 days. Look at what happened in 24 hours. We can do this if we set our minds to it. Now, I do know that some persons are looking at, yes, people might come in, where will I get spillovers from? Because that's one thing that we've seen people probably looking forward to. Well, let me say this, be a lifter, not a leaner. If you're on this call and you are part of the Daisy project, leaners are those waiting for spillovers. Where will I get spillovers? When will spillovers come to me? You are leaning. Leaders create spillovers. So the time that we have taken to wait is an opportunity for us to line up our team, inspire our team, show them ways to go around in case there are obstacles or limitations, so that when 2.0 goes live, the first 24 hours will be the greatest 24 hours of our life. This is our African experience. And I want to say thank you very much, Ilya, for this opportunity. God bless you. We love you all the way from Nigeria, Africa, to the rest of the world. God bless you.
Thank you, Solomon, so much. Thank you. I love it so much, really. What you just shared. This was democratization of wealth. I think it's very important because seriously, what Dr. Anna and Endotech are doing, right? They take an institutional approach together with Daisy. What we all doing together, right? So we just apply it to little guys, just like everybody, right? Or on the call, it can be somebody who buys just tier 1 or maybe tier 2, tier 3. Everybody gets the same results, like you mentioned. It's very important. It's part of the message. And I'm very sorry to hear about the bans happening in Nigeria. So I know some governments, it's very sad to hear that the governments try to, put some bans on the crypto movements. And I know there are always some ways around. So I'm happy to hear that you can use local Bitcoins, Remitano, and some other services. So you will always find a way to buy TRX, Tron in Nigeria. So I don't think it's going to be a big issue still because it's on the internet. So as long as they don't take internet from us, it will be available, right? So yes, so we'll find the ways around. Yes, thank you very much, Salomon. I think it was one of the most amazing, actually, amazing talks on our calls, leadership calls, and I think it was very interesting for many people to listen about what's happening in Africa. And from now on, I would like to invite our second guest today, Chris Arena. So he is originally Filipino, but raised in Australia and then moved back to the Philippines. And currently he lives in Manila. So he's been in this industry more than 20 years. So he's a big veteran in the industry, working full-time online, doing many amazing things online. So knowing this industry very well, all the companies, all the projects, so all the trends in the space, right? And he's been a great lead and great trainer. Also, he teaches people how to set up wallets and crypto, especially in crypto space, right, Chris? So you've been doing this for quite a long time, right? So you joined this movement, crypto movement, a few years ago. You're not a newbie here, which is very good to know. So Chris, I know you also prepared some valuable piece of information for everybody in relation to Daisy. So please take over from here, and we are very happy to have you as a guest.
Thank you, and I'm very happy to be here as a guest speaker as well. When I woke up to begin my week on Monday morning, I did not imagine that I'll be here enjoying this honor and privilege to be on this call today. And I do need to, again, just applaud Mr. Solomon James on that particular presentation. I hope I can keep up with the energy and the passion that he has. And we really also want to just take into account the fact that, depending on where you are in the world right now, where you're watching this from, whether you're watching this live, and I just want to congratulate every single one of you who have stayed on to the call for this long. And if you are watching the replay, I also want to congratulate you for staying on to be on for this long. And to hear hopefully some nuggets and some gems and essentially some secrets that I want to give away about how I've been able to accomplish what I've been able to accomplish over the years, to give away my full-time job back in 2012, to come work full-time from home, to be around my lovely wife of 23 years, my 3 sons, and basically make money anywhere in the world as long as I've got a device and an internet connection. So congratulations to all of you leaders. You are all leaders. Please understand that right now. The fact that you're still on this call right now, and if you're watching the replay, you're all leaders. Whether you have 1 person or 0 people coming so far on board with you to be part of this opportunity, to be part of this project with Daisy, you're all leaders, because you're here now to continue to build your knowledge, to build your awareness of what we have here. And, I really want to, again, just say a few words on the other leaders that were on the call earlier this week. I don't know about you guys. If you haven't heard the call yet, please go back and watch the calls that were, conducted this week. Some words from Mr. Avinash from the UK. I have a newfound respect for what he obviously had to share that particular day. And no doubt many of you appreciate the story he told about what appeared to be a bad father on the train with some very unruly children, and how really at the end of the day, that story was about making sure that we adjust our mindset and we have the right perspective of the situation that we're in right now. And as Mr. Solomon James has covered, as Eugene covered as well on Wednesday, we are right now in a phase no different, okay? No different to the phase that we were all in before the 4th of January. But guess what? We have so much more to our advantage right now, because before the 4th of January, when we first attempted, which we did, launch, right? Obviously, it was presented with some challenges, which is why we're still contending with them right now. But before the 4th of January, we were going out there with excitement. We were there talking to people about this potential with this project called Daisy and this company called Endotech, and all the amazing results that Endotech's already achieving for their existing client base. And now we take a look at the situation. Yes, we are in a bit of a holding pattern. Yes, we're still waiting to relaunch. But guess what? The story back on the 4th of January was, I don't know. It looks amazing. It could be great. And let's just see what could become of this. Have you got at least $100 to come participate in this as a bare minimum? And obviously, now that we're past the 4th of January, now weeks after, we all know the story of how we broke records, ladies and gentlemen. We broke records. This has never been done before. In my 22 years in the network marketing space, I've never seen that many people turn over 6 figures in 2 days. 6-figure incomes in just 2 days. Go and speak to any network marketer that's been around in the industry for as long as I have, if not longer. They will tell you, unheard of. What we did was never done before, and it will never be done again. Or then again, probably shouldn't say never, because anything's possible, but we broke records is the point. And now our story, when we talk to new people, is very simple. We launched on the 4th of January. We had over 50,000 people come on board. We raised $30 million that's in the live trading right now. We broke our own website in the first week. And so we are now at a point now where we can take a look at those people who made those 6-figure incomes in the first few days, and we can tell people this is real. The potential is there. Do you want to come and be part of this? So what I wanted to cover today is really, as I mentioned, 6 points. So if you want to take some notes, I don't have any slideshows to present like Mr. Solomon James did just a moment ago. But basically, in terms of the things that I believe we can do moving forward, especially if we feel we've maybe exhausted our existing network of people. And look, I just want to share a story. When I first, and many of you who have been in network marketing for as long as I have, before we had fast internet, before we had social media, before we had, just all the different platforms and tools that we have to help make our life easier. If we wanted to go out there and find new potential business partners to come and join our multi-level marketing business back 20 years ago, we had to go sit in a cafe. We had to go approach and probably try and start a bit of a chit chat with someone on a train platform, at the train station or at the bus stop or at the park benches, and just talk to random strangers. And, good luck trying to do that today, because most people are probably sitting at train stations with earpieces in their ear, and they probably don't want to speak to you anyway, right? But we have so much more to our advantage. And I don't want to sort of brag or boast, but I've often said to some of the people that I speak with directly that I feel in terms of the 21st century and the phase, or should I say the momentous times that we live in, and all the technology that we have to use to our advantage, life has become so much easier. And I want to make a point today of 6 points, as I mentioned, and how you could potentially go out there and start engaging new people if you feel that your people that you've dealt with in the past, or maybe you're still perhaps not particularly feeling confident to go back to your previous individuals because maybe you've been involved in things that haven't quite worked out for the best. And I get that. I've had that experience myself. So that's why I've always appreciated the value of getting out there and meeting new people, connecting with new people. And how do we do that in the biggest social media environment and, the king of social media, Facebook? I've used Facebook, and I know there are other social networks out there as well that are starting to pop up and really show some good potential. But Facebook for me, and if you want to take some notes, the first point obviously is that if you obviously appreciate the beautiful thing about being your own boss, being an entrepreneur, and being able to build a team of people that you can work with, And I remember once upon a time, one of my mentors called it, you want to select your generals or your board of directors, okay? So no one's expecting you to go out there and recruit 50 or 100 or 1,000 people yourself. I mean, if you want to do that, no one's stopping you. But ultimately, it's quality over quantity. And when you think of a board of directors, again, there's only so many seats at the table. And if you can choose, in our case, what we're all being encouraged to do so that we can hit the pace setter ranks, we want to look for 24 people, okay? That's all, 24 people that we can say, hey, we've got something. Do you want to take a look at it? It's only $100 to get started. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, yes, but it's going to take too long, but we are in this for the long haul. Don't look at this as a sprint. Look at this as a marathon, because we have something that's going to be around for a long time. And, you know, the point here as well is that you've got to make sure that you fall in love with what we have here as a project, so that energy and that passion can carry over into the conversations with these people that, yes, they don't know you, you don't know them, but you're going to find these people. And I personally have made a move because I know there are a lot of people in the crypto space that I can go and speak to, but the unfortunate situation is some of them, yes, have been involved in things that are probably not things that they wanted to be involved with after everything sort of didn't work out as planned. And so I've made a decision, and I've started conditioning and training and coaching my team that we're going to go after people who are outside of the crypto space, you know, that are in network marketing, that are business-minded individuals, but they obviously are still very green. All right, we can guide them, we can show them, we can teach them, we can build their trust if we can show them how they can participate in this industry that is crypto. Okay, so, you know, just to give you an example, there are people that were involved in a health and wellness company. I won't mention any names, but apparently this health and wellness company recently, these guys have been around for over 30 years. Okay, they're like they're like Amway. I will mention one company, and if you want to speak to Amway people, that's up to you. But Amway is the granddaddy of network marketing companies, as far as I can recall of my experience, my life experience. But the grandmother of network marketing, I won't mention the name. For those of you who don't know, if you'd like to know, feel free to message me. I'll be happy to share that information with you. But basically, they went through a whole lot of issues, and the Federal Trade Commission ended up having a whole bunch of money, you know, that the company had to pay back to a bunch of members. And my point here is that there's a bunch of people in the millions that were involved with this company that are now looking or possibly open to considering something different, something new. And they're hearing all these things about the crypto space. So you can go to Facebook and you can search for these particular companies, and you can look for their Facebook pages. You can look for their Facebook groups. You can maybe start to send some friend requests to some of these individuals and start engaging them initially in just some rapport building discussions and conversations. You know, you wouldn't just go in and send a friend request to someone, they accept your friend request, and then you start telling them about Daisy straight away. You know, you want to be asking leading open-ended questions. So that's point number 2. So point number 1 is we're searching for these new connections from other non-crypto-based opportunities. Now, point number 2 is we're going to start asking them questions when they accept our friend request. And I know a lot of you as well, probably like me, get friend requests from people. So feel free to, again, accept those requests from time to time, and then just, you know, go through that process and find out where they're at in the crypto space. A good question you can ask them to sort of gauge their level of awareness and interest in the world of cryptocurrency might be something like, do you know who Elon Musk is and Tesla and what they recently did and why? No doubt many of you already appreciate what happened this week with Tesla and how there was a $1.5 billion Bitcoin purchase made by Tesla. And there are people out there that aren't going to necessarily appreciate what that means to us in the crypto space. You know, we know what it means, but there are people who have no experience to crypto, have no idea, and we can be the ones to show them and help them understand that there is an opportunity here. And the beautiful thing about crypto that I've loved about crypto, because I've been in network marketing where our products for many, many years, is that our product is money. It's digital currency, and everybody needs money. Everybody needs what we have as digital currency, because, you know, with other product-based companies, I don't want to sort of put a dampener on any of those opportunities, because a lot of them are very good, but they're still only for a limited market of people, right? But our market is almost anybody and everybody that appreciates that they need money in their life, right? And so that's the point that you want to ask those open-ended leading questions so that you can start to gauge their level of awareness and interest for the crypto space, and then see where it goes from there. Then obviously, once you've gotten them to really see that there's some value in getting started. Of course, step 3, if you're taking notes, is you want to basically help them open up their first crypto wallet, show them how to make their first purchase of crypto. So that way, again, they can see firsthand that you're not trying to necessarily, invite them into some sort of opportunity like we have right now with Daisy. I mean, that's obviously going to be later on down this, down the path and discussion that you're going to have with them once you've gotten them, set up initially with their first purchase of crypto and their crypto wallet set up for the first time. And of course, you want to invite them to buy a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit of Ethereum, and of course, a little bit of Tron. We already know where that's going, right? And so once we've got them, appreciative of that fact, and again, something that I've been telling my people this week about why they want to buy something like Tron is Bitcoin is, almost at 50,000 US. I mean, I haven't checked in the last few minutes, but it's at 40-something thousand US to buy one Bitcoin. Obviously, Tron right now is at like 4 cents. So that's going to appear to the common person who doesn't know about crypto to be a far better deal than Bitcoin. And if we can get them to buy that $100, $200 worth of Tron, I mean, we're effectively telling them the story of what it would have been like had they bought, or had any of us bought, $100 worth of Bitcoin when it was 2 cents back in 2010. Do you know how much that would be worth right now? That's $225 million if we bought just $100 worth of Bitcoin 10, 11 years ago, all right? So we're telling these people to buy $100 worth of Tron, and then that way they can see the benefits there. They can go through that firsthand experience. And then the next point number 4, we want to show them how to monitor the prices and teach them, how to, buy, obviously, when we're seeing a dip in the market. And then obviously when the market goes up and the value of the coins that they're holding goes up, we want to teach them how to sell so they can obviously take some profits. And obviously we're not necessarily selling per se, we're swapping it for USDT, a stable coin, so that we can hold that profit, that value. And I've got people that are brand new to crypto here in the Philippines that bought $100 worth of Tron that weren't able to join because of the issues that we had. And then they're messaging me saying, how come my $100 worth of Tron is now almost up to $150 worth of Tron? And I told you what would happen. And so they're getting excited and they're starting to tell their family, their friends, their contacts about how they can get started in the crypto space. So this is very easy to duplicate. And that's point number 6. All right. Once you've taken everyone through those first 5 points, you want to teach your new people that have come on board with you to join initially in crypto to duplicate that same process with the people that they know so that they can build their team. And this is how we build our empire, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we build their trust. This is how we get them to like us, because once upon a time, they didn't even know who we were until we obviously showed them the way to take them by the hand and show them how to get started in the world of crypto. And then once we have that trust, we have that rapport, they now like us, they trust us, then we are in so much more of a position of influence to now say to them, I have something that you might want to take a look at that, is going to blow the roof off everything in 2021. Let me share some information with you about Daisy. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate you taking on some of these things. As I said, these are the things that I personally have done and am continuing to do. And again, I know a lot of you have had some previous experiences that didn't necessarily work out for the best, but I invite all of you to just leave the past where it belongs, in the past. Let's start with a clean slate. Let's get to work. Because all of us, whether we're in the same team or in cross-line teams, it doesn't matter when we've all hit VIP status, right? And we're all now benefiting from everybody's work. So this is why I'm sharing all this information with you guys, because I know that it's going to benefit all of us in the long run. So look, one last final thing I just want to say again before I wrap up. If you haven't paid attention, if you haven't noticed, I've been involved in a number of crypto deals now over the time that I first got started in crypto in 2016. And what can I say? I have seen some leaders get involved in certain projects. They make a lot of money and then they walk off, they disappear, they go on to the new thing. Take a look at the leadership here in Daisy, who have made a lot of money already so far. We're still here, okay? We still want all of you to be successful, to win with this project. And if you go and apply yourself to some of the points or all the points that I've just covered with you all today, play back this video if you need to hear them again. We're gonna kill it. So Ilya, Dr. Anna Becker, thank you as well for all of your efforts and the team of Endotech. And again, Mr. Solomon James, I hope I was able to do some honor there to follow up on your presentation, and looking forward to us relaunching this very, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. I think it's very important, actually. Daisy is on a mission to bring as many people as possible into crypto space. So what you just shared is very important, right? So because Solomon mentioned how many people live on our planet, right? So it's like roughly 8 billion or something, right? So, and how many people they actually have crypto wallets? It's tens of millions. We're not even talking hundreds of millions yet. So in the upcoming few years, we expect hundreds of millions, if not to say billions of people actually to set up crypto wallets, to start to send digital money directly without interaction through some banking system, without any permission or whatsoever, right? So just send it directly to whoever they want to send it to, right? So this is a very beautiful thing, actually. And we are in this digital space, and we are on a smart contract space as well. So we are one of pioneers, right? And we have Dr. Anna with amazing project in AI space. So we have so many components actually that we put them all together, and I believe it's very attractive, right? For networker, it's attractive. It's attractive just for average person. Whenever you are in the world, right? So you can be in Africa, you can be in Asia, in Europe, doesn't matter, right? Because it is international, it is global, and like you, Chris, shared. I mean, it's very simple actually to start talking to people, to attract them, to bring them into crypto space. And you're absolutely right, you don't need to jump on people trying to sell them Daisy opportunity, right? So you just establish a relationship, you show them the way they can set up Bitcoin wallet, which is very, very easy. It's just 2-3 steps. It can be done like in a couple of minutes or something, right? So you make them send the Bitcoins to somebody else, or you send your Satoshi to them, right? So they can get few Satoshi, they see that the money is coming like almost instantly, right? It's very fast. You can play around with the Ethereum, and then of course you can end up with a TRX, right? Because eventually you want them to join Daisy, right? So I think it's interesting actually how you can attract and bring people into crypto space, into Daisy. Thank you, Chris, very much. Thank you for sharing your experience as a veteran in this industry. So you've been in crypto space, like you said, 5 years, just like myself, 5-6 years I've been in this crypto space. So we've seen many things happening. And as you say, whatever, if you had bad experience in the past, let it stay in the past. We are moving forward into the future. So we just got started with 2021. And by the way, I want to congratulate everybody because we are actually having Chinese New Year right now. So we have very big community in China, in Vietnam, even in Thailand. Today, I mean, Thailand, New Year is in April, right? It's different, but we have big Chinese community in Thailand, in this country. So today, many people, they take the days off. So this is one of the reasons actually I'm wearing now red shirt. So my wife, she gave me red shirt today. She said, today is a New Year, Chinese New Year. So you should wear something red. So you see, in this part of the world, it's very, very big. So Happy New Year for all our Daisy community in Asia. And let's hope that this year will be phenomenal for everybody in terms of financial results, in terms of COVID situation also. So we hope it will finish within this year, right? We'll be able to travel, and hopefully in the nearest future we'll have some updates about some online or offline events that we plan to put together for our community, right? So thank you very much. And over the weekend we will publish a schedule for the next week leadership calls. So we'll have another maybe 2 or 3 calls. So we'll plan some calls with some special guests as usual. And have a nice day or evening, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.